it's just one of those years that we really, especially on the West Coast, we just didn't find many guys, and so we don't really have a great answer for that. Once again, another issue with the numbers. We maybe would have reached there. Took a project at a running back or somebody that we didn't take and fulfill that need. So we've had some circumstances with George moving back, with the departure of Amir, that have left us in a difficult situation there.
Were you surprised that Amir left, and are any of the guys you're bringing in tailback possibilities?
Well, the only guy that really is, playing the position is Jaleel, and he would give you a potential of a big back. So we may look at that, and not having a big back on our roster right now. We were surprised with the departure of Amir. With his family moving back there, it was something they felt was something they wanted to do, and so we granted him that opportunity. I was surprised and disappointed. Whenever you put a lot of time into somebody and they come into your program and you feel really good about them and they're doing things right in your program, it's difficult. But at the same time too, we got to make sure we're honoring what's best for the kid or his family.
Lane, how much instant help do you see on the offensive lineman?
Yeah, I don't know. It's so hard at that position a lot of times. To go from high school to college. We happened to have Marcus Martin last year was first team freshman All-American, but it is difficult transition. Luckily we do return 4 of our 5. Matt Cleo not only is the only starter we lose, but really the only significant playing time at all that we lost. With no seniors that had really played very much for us. So that was more of a position of a need for making sure we got guys for down the road, not as much for next year.
Coach, on your wide receiver depth, you have Farmar, Lee, Woods, and you have incoming freshman Nelson Aguilar. How do you plan on fitting him in the system and preventing him from transfer as opposed to like Kyle Prater who just left?
Yeah, we just always got to find the best way to utilize our players. The question about the running back earlier, before I got off on the Amir part of it, Nelson would be a guy that could do some things, not as an every down back, but could potentially do some things back there because we're going to have to find some answers, because of so little depth at running back. And so, unfortunately, it's kind of has been part of the business for whatever reason this last season of having some guys transfer, not happy with their playing time. There really isn't a good answer for that unless you're going to, bench Robert or Marquise during the season.
Let's put Farmar at running back last year. Do you guys plan on doing the same thing or changing it up? Or?
Yeah, we're going to leave him at receiver. Look at some things, but leave him at receiver for the spring for the most part, but potentially look at some things too. And the good thing is he has a little background now at running back with the time that he spent there.
Even with the smaller class, 12 players, he's looking at your roster, it looks like you're still over a few players. It would be over 75. I know you don't have to be down there until you get to the fall, but how are you going to manage the overage?
Yeah, from our numbers, without getting real specific, I don't think they are probably what your numbers are showing exactly. I don't foresee it being an issue at all.